Now that you are grounded and rooted, you are prepared for the emotional tsunamis, tornadoes, and storms that will surely rock your world on the way to you being the greatest and grandest version of yourself. Now, in the first video, I went over the importance of your root chakra and grounding yourself. Now, when you are born, every person is given us protection. Like you're never unprotected. You know what I mean? You have divine protection. You have your guardian angels and so forth. But I didn't tell you the importance of like magical protection, because child, let me tell you something. When you are not focused and you are not preparing to be the greatest version of yourself, no one is really looking for you. When I say no one, they're not looking for you if you are, scrolling social media, just can't wait to get home from work so you can watch TV and hang with your friends. You're not really writing that book that you wanted to write. You're not going back to school like you planned. You're not starting your YouTube channel or whatever your real big dreams are. You're just kind of coasting. So if you're already under arrest, right? Or if you're already in a cage of hopelessness, then they don't need to tie you up, because you've already tied yourself up. Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. In today's video, I'm going to give you some metaphysical tools on the journey to your dream to help you discover what your passions are in the areas of your home, some magical tools to use, and the chakra you need to work on to help you discover your divine purpose and passion for this lifetime. Thank you so much for watching. Now that you are really ready to go after that big dream, now you're going to alert the, sort of like this is where the spiritual attacks come in. This is where, the friends and family members who were just so used to you being that version of yourself where they could control and manipulate you, or where they could, they were familiar with the old version of you, so to speak, right? But now that you are looking to level up your life, you're looking to live your greatest dreams. Okay, in this video, this is the last video that I am going to do in terms of helping beginners on their magical spiritual journey, because you only need these two. After this, guys, you're going to find your own way, your own magic, other teachers and books, but I didn't want to leave you hanging, so to speak. Now, in this video, we're going to go over, there's a couple more areas in feng shui, and then a couple more magic books that I think that are very important. And then you are free to, you're already free, darling, but I want to tell you why and this video is so important, because we're going to be moving up from your root chakra to your sacral chakra, which is 2 inches below your navel. Now, this chakra, the color is orange, and it is responsible for your childhood traumas, your inner child, your guilt, your shame, all of the pain. Now, all of the things that you've gone through so far in your life that have really hurt you, or really hurt you, these things are catalysts to greatness. They're stepping stones to you being the greatest and grandest version of yourself. Now, I want to share a little bit. Now, this video may be a little triggering for some people. So if you, I'm not going to go too deep into details, but I want you to understand the significance of what I'm talking about with this second chakra. Now, it's responsible for this is where your reproductive organs are, right? When we're talking about reproduction, we're not just talking about having children, we're talking about creating in general, whether you're creating a book, creating a baby, creating a piece of art, a sculpture, anything that you are creating new in your life. This chakra is responsible for unleashing this creative energy, right? This is your creative area. So there are gemstones for this area. Again, I want to just say it's 2 inches below your navel, and the color is orange. I went through a stage in my life where I would only wear orange panties because I wanted to be a super creative person. I would wear a carnelian gemstones. So I want to show you I think carnelian is actually my favorite gemstone, and this is my necklace that I usually wear. They say the Egyptians always wore carnelian around their waist because it has a fierce form of protection. So, and another gemstone for your second chakra is this is orange calcite. This gemstone is so yummy looking to me. Well, except maybe the dark spot there, but that's not a big deal. And I have it in other forms as well. And this is another piece of carnelian that I have. And I have carnelian in so many different sizes, shapes, and forms. It is my all-time favorite. I think it's my all-time favorite gemstone. But you wear it on your second chakra, which is 2 inches below your navel. Now, one of the things I like to do is when you lie down, you can just place the gemstone on your chakra. Or you can, for me, I would just place it right there on my belly and right inside your panties, the carnelian, and just place it right on this 2 inches below your navel, because you're working on your second chakra, which is responsible for your creativity and your emotional relationships with whether you are have a detached love style, or if you are emotionally dependent. Your emotional relationship with other people, your guilt, your shame, your inner child, your creativity, all of your childhood wounds and trauma is located in this area. So now, do you understand why it was so important, why I emphasize the importance of being grounded and working on your root chakra? Now, when I started my spiritual journey, I didn't think the root chakra was important. I learned about the chakras on my own, and I was excited to get started with the creativity. Oh my God, I want to write a book. I want to do fun stuff. At the time, I was in graduate school, but I remember I bought some gemstones because I was like, okay, I'm gonna work on my sacral chakra. I wasn't interested in the third chakra, and I was interested in my heart chakra and my crown chakra, which is connected to my higher self and to God or whatever, right? So I'm working on these chakras with these gemstones, and I'm doing this meditation, and I had a moment where I had a flashback to when I was in I think I was in maybe the 4th grade, and I was sitting at the lunch table, and I was eating alone, and all of the kids were teasing me. The kids refused to eat with me, and everybody was teasing me because I had an injury with my left knee. An eye of a sewing needle broke off in my left knee when I was sewing my Barbie doll an outfit, and it set up a gangrene infection, and the doctors thought they were going to have to amputate my leg. So I was in the hospital. I was tutored for pretty much, I think, most of the 4th grade, I was in the hospital for like 3 months because they were trying to save my leg. And after I left the hospital, my leg, I couldn't bend my left knee, and I had to kick the leg out in order to be able to walk. Now I can walk normal, like a normal person. I can ride a bike, but my knee still to this day, and I'm almost 60, it still doesn't bend all the way. But long story short, when I went through this trauma, like with the kids teasing me, and I was eating along, and it was just like I was right there in that moment, I just started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. So I called my spiritual director, and he was like, "Oh, Cassandra," he said, "There's just all of these, spiritual books that, teach people about these different chakras, and they never tell you how to ground yourself. They never tell you that there are just certain things you just don't need to do by yourself." And it took me a long time to get over that, because that was a moment that I had tucked away, that I have completely forgotten about. Anyway, my spiritual director did some type of energy work with me, and he grounded me, but it still took me about 2 weeks to get back to myself. I was completely traumatized. So this is why I was saying in the first video, please ground yourself, because now that you're going to move up to your second chakra, your sacral chakra, 2 inches below your navel, and you're going to be working on some of your your creativity. But see, I get so excited, guys. So your creativity is tied to your emotions. So when you hear a really beautiful song, it's usually because somebody put a lot of heart and a lot of emotion into that song. That song means something. And that song has come from a lot of pain, a lot of hurt or disappointment. When we hear lyrics that are profound, we're like, oh my God. It hit us deep, right? Because it's in that ocean. In the ocean of emotion, and the energy that's located in that second chakra, even though it's where our pain is located, but it's also where our purpose is located. Now, I like to call this area is also, there's let me just talk, and then we'll clean it up, okay? So I have a term I like to call the thorn in the lion's paw syndrome. The thorn in the lion's paw syndrome is basically, to me, when you discover your purpose and you get on your path to your dreams, people start seeing you as, even though you may still need help, or you may still need support, but people are threatened by you. People, they don't want to help you. They want to be you. They want to copy you. They may want to take your songs if you are an upcoming artist. So you're never more vulnerable than when you are on when you are working on, some people call it the great work. There are different names for it, but it's when you are fulfilling the greatest version of yourself possible, the version that you have imagined for yourself. Remember when you were a kid and you wanted to be an astronaut, or you wanted to be a dancer, or this is when you still believe that you could be anything that you wanted to be. This is the energy that you're tapping into. But the thing about this energy is that it is so potent that it's also the energy where you're, like I said, your childhood trauma, your childhood wounds, the inner child who was teased, abused, or whatever was going on during your childhood. This is a very what's the word? The word that's coming to my mind is very potent and strong energy. So when it pulls you in, it's going to give you your greatest ideas for your greatest paintings. You're going to figure out, like, Do I want to be a surgeon? Do I want to be a politician? You know, you got to remember all of those things that made you, that hurt you, that enlightened you, that inspired you when you thought you could be anything, okay? Sometimes the reason we don't get the things in life that we want is because deep in our heart, we don't believe that we deserve them. Add this unconditional self-love jewelry to your magical repertoire to bring in more wealth, more love, because when you fall in love with yourself, so will the world. So now about the thorn in the lion's paw syndrome is something that I feel like I gone through my whole life. So in this area, I'm going to explain it. In your second chakra, in this area, this is where the things that, okay, let me explain it like this. So when I was a kid, like one of my catalysts, I call the catalyst of these big things that happen to us that kind of change how we see the world. So I was the oldest, and I have two younger brothers, and so my mom would always tell me, "You're my big girl, you're my big girl." So I was always forced to eat the burnt cookies or eat the broken cookies, the burnt toast, anything, you know, take the color of the lollipop that no one wanted because you're mama's big girl, right? So that was something that I kind of like, I really didn't know it was a problem until you know, much later in life. But what it did for me is that it made me feel that my emotional needs didn't matter, that it was my responsibility to always take care of my brothers, right? So what happened is, when I call it the thorn in the lion's paw, is what happened is, because I had to be strong and always take what nobody else wanted, and always, like, even like for Christmas, like I didn't get, my birthday is so close to Christmas, it was a lot of Christmas, I didn't get it. I always got a gift for Christmas, I mean, I'd say that, but there were plenty of birthdays that I didn't get anything for my birthday, because my mother would say, well, we just had Christmas a week ago, so, like, you know, we don't have any money. And so as a kid, I just learned to take a lot of, you know, at the time I didn't know it was like maybe emotional neglect, but I thought it was normal. So when I was 12 years old, I had an incident where I'm just going to word it like this. My innocence was brutally taken from me by a boy in my class behind a church, right? And so let's just say that, because I don't want to get too deep into that. I hope you guys can see what I'm saying. I've talked about it in other videos. Now, I didn't tell anybody because I was thinking about my mom, you know, or my father, you know, I'm a big girl, I have to take this, or I don't want my dad to get mad at me, I don't want my parents to be disappointed in me. So I didn't feel that my feelings mattered. But as I got older, I was really angry with God. So now the thing that's interesting about the whole thing is that even though I had this needle in my knee and I couldn't, you know, I had to kick my leg out to walk, and I just, you know, the whole incident in 7th grade, right? What was weird about it is that people were still jealous of me. Like, and I'm thinking, for what? There, what could you possibly be jealous of me for? There is nothing to be jealous about. And I say the thorn in the lion's paw because when people see a lion, what they perceive as being a lion, you know, they don't think that a lion's pain really matters, because they're thinking, well, the lion is probably going to bite me if I try to help the lion. Or maybe the lion now is not as strong as it normally would be, so now I can conquer it. So, so now that you have a thorn in your paw, you're not as great as you think you are. So I find that when people always perceive you as being strong, or you know, being lucky, or even with all of your trauma and all of your pain, they still think like, gee, you know, no one really wants to help you. So you have this thorn in your paw, and you're walking around with this pain that is not important to anybody, because all people see is they see your mane, and they see your fangs, and they think that they think either this is my opportunity to conquer you, this is my opportunity to take your place, to be you. But if you think I'm about to remove the thorn from your paw, you can forget about it. So this is located in your second chakra to me. Now this is what I call it. Now, where your trauma and pain and childhood wounds are located, now that's not to me. That is like a universal, knowledge about the second chakra. But I like to call it when you discover when you discover your gifts and your talents, you're also going to discover where you may need healing, and you might need support from others. But people may perceive you as being so lucky or so talented that they don't want to help you. So this is why, if you're watching this video, I want you to really take care of yourself. I have found that even like sometimes when I say take care of yourself, if you need to go and get traditional counseling, and sometimes it's really hard to find a good counselor, because when you talk to somebody and you say, oh yeah, I have these degrees, and I have 2 master's degrees, I have ABD in sociology, I have a doctorate in psychology. People stop. They feel like, well, what are you complaining about? Why are you here? I mean, like when people find out that you are tapped into your purpose, or when you're really goal oriented, or you're very ambitious, people just really don't want to help you anymore, but you still have a lot of pain. So now when you're working with this second chakra, this is where your artistic creativity comes into play. Now the area in your home, and I want to make sure I don't forget to tell you this, the area in your home that is responsible for your creativity. I sit in my creativity area. Now, when you walk into your home, now the last time we talked about the importance of your wisdom area, right? Now, in the middle for this video, I want you to focus on your career area, which is the center of the room when you walk in the door. So this is the element is water, just like the element is water for your second chakra. This area in your home is responsible for your life path, your purpose, your journey. And you want to have water in this area. I have a water fountain in this area, but you want to have calm water. You don't want to have a big waterfall and the water is crazy, or water can be very chaotic. You don't want that. You want the best water to put in this area is like a river, because you want your path to be smooth. One of the things that I did when I thought I wanted to work, I worked for a newspaper, for the Michigan Chronicle newspaper. I placed a ship in the area and I put my resume on the ship, and I just all of the skills that I would bring. I think I had a little note. Long story short, I mailed this to the Michigan Chronicle, and he literally hired me on the spot with no experience. This is a very powerful area. The color is black. Mirrors represent water. Glass represent water. So if you know what you want to do with your life, or listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. You don't need to know what you want to do, because what you may want to do for the next 2 years, it may not be what you want to do 5 years from now. I've been a social worker. I've worked for the newspaper. I was a grant writer. I've done a lot of things in my life, right? And they were all on the journey to all of my journey. So don't feel like, we're not at a stage in life anymore where you get a job and you feel like you have to do that for your entire life. So now we're going to move over to the next area I want you to focus on is your helpful people area. So you know how before I told you, I said when you walk in the house, wherever your left hand is, that is your wisdom and knowledge area. Well, for your second chakra, we're going to, wherever your right hand is, that corner where your right hand is, that is your helpful people area. And this is your area for, turn it the right way. And this is your area for your helpful people. And the reason I want you to focus on this area now is because if you're looking for mentors, and spiritual guides, these are helpful people either in the spiritual realm or in the physical realm. So let's just say you want a mentor because you are looking to get into graduate school, or you want to play guitar, or you want to paint, whatever you want to do, you're looking for help. Some of the things you can put in this area are literally hands, like sculptures of hands, angels. I have a lot of angels. This is your protection area. Sometimes I have little plastic soldiers in this area for protection. So this is also the area that's responsible for travel, but that's not the area that that is not the primary focus I want for you for this particular time in your life. Well, unless you want to travel, but but we're going to focus on helpful people and spiritual guides, and also wind chimes. The color is gray and white. This is also the perfect area. Say, for example, you are looking for a particular job. You could get, I thought I might have had one, but a little silver tray, or not tray, but a little silver box. They're very inexpensive. I like to write on black paper. I'm telling you, it's something so magical about this. Write down whatever it is that you want, what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a job, and you're just going to write it on some black paper, put it in a little tin silver container, and you're going to tie a red string around it. And while you are tying it, you are literally holding, repeating in your mind what it is that you are wishing to manifest. And you want to put that in your helpful people area. So the other area that I want you to work on is your children and creativity area, which correlates with the second chakra. It is the element is metal, and you want to put earth objects like pottery. The colors are white, gray, brown, yellow, orange. You want to put candy, toys, games, music, lights, bells. If you're looking to have a child, you can put baby clothes, baby shoes. This area, if you say you want to sew, you would put your sewing machine in this area, or you would put things that you've created in this area. You would put things in this area that children have created to enhance this area in your home. Now, what's interesting about my creativity area, I'm sitting in my creativity area, and as you can see, all of the dolls behind me I've created. I didn't do, you know what, when I didn't do this on purpose. Do you know I sleep in my creativity area? I spend 75% of my time in my home in my creativity area. I'm either working here at my computer, I'm sewing, I have my sewing machine right over here, or I'm sleeping in my creativity area. It's like, I can't believe that this is how I'm working so deeply with my second chakra. So now let me just recap that a little bit. So you're going to be working with the areas in feng shui in your home. You're going to work with your career area. The element is water. This is going when you are looking for your purpose and what do you want to do next. You're going to work with your helpful people. These are your guides. These are people, whether they are in spiritual guides or physical guides, they can help you in terms of figuring out what it is that you want. And then you also want to work with your creativity area, because to express your gifts and talents. Now back to this whole, I call when you're working with your second chakra, and why it's so important is I feel like it's a catalyst to your dreams. Because now my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series is really it's a protest and a love letter to God about, I think I could do a better I think I could do a better job running the planet than you, or creating life than you. Like, why weren't you there for me? Why, that's part of it. But then to figure out that it's not as easy as I thought it would be, and to delve into the meaning of life and why we go through obstacles and challenges as beings, right? So all of this trauma and all of the things that I've gone through has contributed to my art as a doll maker, as an author, as a writer. So this is how I channel my pain, my hurt, my inspiration, my wisdom, my lessons that I've learned. So this is why this area is so important. Now, the other thing I want to suggest to you in working in this particular area. Now, for one, again, I want you to work on your protection. This is Magical Protection by Damon Brand. This book, guys, if you are in the spiritual world and this is like water. Like, you need this book. Okay. Now I'm going to suggest for your spiritual protection, because now that you're on the journey to your dreams, child, and now that you are no longer trapped in your social media addiction, you're no longer trapped and wasting your time, and you're really about that business. See, now this is when the obstacles and the people and this is where all of the spiritual attacks come, because oh my God, the lion is up. Right, the lioness is on her way. She has awakened. So now you become a target, and now I want you to protect yourself, because you're already in love with yourself. You're already grounded, because that was in the previous video. So please get this book. There's a 33-day protection. He goes through like how much protection is needed. I don't want to get into all of that with you, but I'm going to tell you that on your spiritual path, this book to me is absolutely necessary. And the next book that I think is really important on this your magical spiritual journey, and is Sigils of Power and Transformation by Adam Blackthorne. Now let me show you. You're gonna see so much good stuff in both of these books. You're gonna be like, why is she holding back? I'm just getting you on your way, baby. So this is the section that I think is really important, is spiritual magic. Discover your spiritual path, discover your material path, and then find wisdom in problems and discover your true passion. And I really think this is when you discover your true passion. Now you want to make sure that you work on your career area, right? And let's say you find out that your true passion is painting. So one of the things you can do is, in your creativity area, you can, guys, I'm telling you, this works. You can put paint brushes. You can put like little paint containers. You can put like little paint, pictures that you've painted, right? Now in your wisdom area that we've already gone over, you can put books about different painting techniques. Now for the spiritual, oh, this always excites me. So now for your helpful people area, you can place, like, say you want Picasso to assist you spiritually, you can actually have pictures of Picasso in your helpful people area. And then you can also write, like, if say there's a mentor, you can even request a mentor or guide, a real, in the 3D, who can assist you as an artist. You see what I'm saying? And so now you're working out the little details every day of figuring out how to apply your energy, your attention, right, to your goals and dreams. Now, the reason I'm kind of like pausing is because I think sometimes people feel like, I don't know. You don't need to know. You don't need to know what you're going to do 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 6 months from now. You only need to know what you want to do tomorrow, today. If you decide today you want a career as a scuba diver, ballerina, fire engine, fire person, I don't know. Do it. Like, people don't know that. Just get started. It doesn't matter where you start. Just get started. Whatever is on your heart right this second, just get started. Because I promise you, the only wrong step is no step. It's doing nothing. So you might discover, as an artist, you might say, oh, okay, it's not as fun as I thought it was going to be. But then you figure out you actually want to teach art to children. You figure out that you actually want to be an art therapist for people. You want to work in hospitals. I know someone who does that. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's why all you have to do is get started. I think I have everything. So you're only going to work on your second chakra. The color is orange. You say Vam. You put the orange gemstones on your second chakra. Again, your second chakra is where you hold all of your emotional energy. So it can be, if you're not rooted and grounded, it can really cause a lot of problems, a lot of emotional problems. But if you're rooted and grounded, yeah, you're gonna cry. It hurts you, but you're going to be able to channel this energy into something productive. You are going to be able to make sure that you have healthy relationships with other people, because you know who you are, right? So this is the next step, and this is the last video that I'm going to have in terms of for a beginner person on their spiritual journey, because it's a puzzle. There are no correct answers. As a teacher, I don't even give multiple choice I don't even give multiple choice tests because I always tell my students, I don't want you to believe that there are right answers. I don't want you to get tricked into that. You know, when you jump into the real world, we're going to figure it out as we go. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.